Hello, everyone. This is Jasper, and welcome back to another episode of the Newton Public Schools Alumni Association podcast series. And today we have another special guest joining us. Today we have Iris here with us. So, Iris, would you mind giving us a short introduction of who you are when you graduated at Newton South and what you're doing right now?
Sure. So, hi everyone. I'm Iris. I was a part of the Newton South class of 2021, so graduated just during the pandemic. I recently graduated Tufts University with my bachelor's in computer science, and I'm
Oh,
actually going back to Tufts to do my master's in the fall.
that's amazing. So, you're currently doing computer science in Tufts, right? So, have you taken any computer science lessons or done anything related to it in South that you think maybe helped you in computer science in Tufts?
Yeah, for sure. So actually coming into South in ninth grade, I was more on the humanities side of things. I did like debate and that, but then around the summer between my ninth grade to 10th grade, I realized that my interests were more suited towards STEM. So I took all the computer science classes that South had to offer at the time, and as well as APCS.
Oh,
And
wow.
largely, I've stuck with it since. In at Tufts, I've explored fields related to software development and AI and machine learning, which is really relevant in today's world. And I've also interned at a couple of research labs and industry as well. So I think that South has given me a great foundation for for learning how to program and just building up to my current skills I have now.
Wow, that's amazing. So, you've interacted with so many teachers here at South in all your courses. So, is there any one teacher at South that you feel maybe had the greatest impression on you or the greatest impact on you?
Yeah, so I would have to say there are probably two teachers. I don't know if they're currently there anymore. I remember Mr. Normandin. I was part of the Da Vinci program during my sophomore and junior years at South, and Mr. Normandin was my 11th grade math teacher. And I think the way that he knew instantly how to connect with all the students, from extroverts to introverts, to explaining how math concepts were broken down in detail, and just emphasizing both rote memorization, but also exploring and learning concepts by yourself. I think that really helped um, gain, he helped me gain a deeper appreciation for math as a
Amazing.
whole.
Okay.
I obviously don't really use calculus or that in a current career, but I think just computer science is tangentially related to math in some of the ways that I think about math nowadays. I can credit that to Mr. Norman. And another teacher who I don't know if there is more was Dr. Kraus. She was the whole person behind the Da Vinci program, and just learning her how STEM and art were synchronized to each other, and how it can be merged with creativity, is that's where um it all started from. And even now I've gained a deeper appreciation for how technology mixes with like humans, and how it can be used to help promote art.
Oh, I see. So, you've had so many teachers who've had a strong impression on you and you've been in so many courses. Are there any clubs or extracurricular activities that you did at South that you feel maybe also, either contributed to your development as a person or also directly aided you in your pursuit of computer science?
Yes, so I was part of the Liger bots during my sophomore to senior years at South, and I was actually the chief marketing officer during my
Oh,
senior
wow.
year during the pandemic. And I that was the club that really cemented my love for STEM. And I've continued with such endeavor since I was part of the Tufts Robotics Club and just the broader CS community in general at Tufts. And um I think that's where a lot of my current skills, learning how to work with different people, how learning how like a whole team is run. Um, I met a lot of people through that. I don't keep quite in touch with them anymore, sadly, but those were some fond memories I can always look back on. And another
Okay.
club that I'd say had a big impact on me was the Asian Student Organization. I was co-president of that during my senior year as well. and just the
Oh,
amazing community that I've met from hosting like Asian night to other events. They're all on the pandemic, all Zoom, of course, but just members that have really helped my develop my leadership skills that I've continued with.
that's amazing.
Um,
I see. That sounds like a really formative high school experience. So I guess transitioning now into college because you also started college when we were somewhat in the COVID era. So you've also obviously done a lot of things in college, and college is much more transformative as compared to high school in terms of making us turn into adults. So I guess would you mind sharing one or two things that you did in college that maybe you felt contributed a lot to your pursuit of computer science?
sure, I think this is kind of cliche to say. I will say the people I met very quickly a big group of there's a big computer science community at Tufts, probably like the most popular major.
Oh,
Um,
I see.
and just meeting the people there and meeting the community has really helped, you know, continue my love even further for computer science. Um, there we have a large group of teaching assistants. We have a large community for each course, and the fact that we're able to give back to each other and help struggling students succeed eventually. I know many TAs that have helped me. Some of them have become my friends as well. So just being part of that community, I think, really has really just reinforced why I continue to pursue computer science as a whole. And say also like the what Tufts offers in terms of its computer science, I'd say is a little bit different
Oh,
from other universities.
how so?
We really emphasize the theory part of it and like the lower level, like hardware part of it a little bit more. And which isn't something that you normally see. And I think and so I actually wrote a blog about this on the Tough Student blogging website, but I think that just helps gain a deeper appreciation for how programs run and how to improve them and how your code works overall on the surface. Just
I see. That's amazing. I know that the community of a lot of universities is probably what's going to contribute most to your networking as well as the people you know even after you graduate. But I know one aspect of college that a lot of kids are maybe scared of doing that's unique from high school is going to be the aspect of internships. So you did mention that you've done some internships in the past. So with respect to specifically the major of computer science, how useful do you think internships are going to be, and whether or not the importance of them in applying for them in college is going to be that high or maybe a bit lower?
oh, they are I would say they are very much like the core feature of like um how you gain experience in computer science degree, unless you're planning to go into research, and there are like research programs for computer science students. Many people go into if you want to go into industry, be a software engineer, be an AI engineer, you pretty much have to start applying for internships beginning in like the fall or so.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, it's a um pretty big recruiting cycle that you get into. Usually a lot of the applications are actually open right now, and people are applying for a lot of roles because computer science is quite a popular major, and a lot of people, especially they see like Facebook or Apple or Google, and they're like, I want to get into that. And it's it is it's quite hard, I would say, but luckily there's also like a lot of people who are in the same boat as you. And as much as you have to start early, you have to like practice like technical interviews, beef up your resume,
Oh, right.
network with people. There's also a lot of people who are willing to help you
Okay.
practice for technical interviews and um, look at your resume, give you advice as
That's
long as
great.
you're willing to you just have to know where to look for that and don't like I would say networking is really important in college. And I know a lot of incoming freshmen are like terrified by it, or they think it's like kind of fake, or like I'm going into this
Right.
with like
I
some sort of
see.
expectation. But I think if you narrow your like options to just like a couple of people and just like go in, learn about the company, try to really like strike up a connection with the recruiter, it'll get you quite far and you'll be on the recruiter's radar too.
I see. So I know the internship application process comes basically for many rising seniors and rising freshmen to university. It kind of comes directly after the college admissions process or the application process. So how different would you think these two processes are?
I think they definitely are very different, I'd say. Because in high school, the biggest difference I'd say between college and high school is that you don't have a set schedule anymore. In
Hmm.
high school, you go to class from like 7 to 9 a.m. to like 4 p.m. and you have like maybe clubs or like sports after for like 2 hours, and then you go home and just do your homework. But in college, you have like a completely free schedule to take this many classes as during like nighttime, morning, whatever. You can wake up at 2 p.m. if you want, and no one's going to stop you.
I
If
see.
you could go to bed at 3 a.m., wake up at 10 a.m., you can do like a lot of different things. Like, the schedule is up to you. And I think a lot of freshmen spend that first semester figuring out a routine and knowing you, because you have a
Right.
lot of freedom, but you're also responsible for your own freedom now. So it, I will say, like, it depends on workload is generally up to you on what on doing. You can choose to take harder classes or easier classes if you want, depending on how many majors you want to do, depending on your interest, depending on your extracurriculars, but or what you want to get out of. But it is up to you on what you want to do. Some people might want to just
Hmm.
have a chill first semester. Some people want to just dive in. Um, it also depends on your major. Um, if you want to do like consulting or finance or engineering, those recruiting cycles start earlier. Um,
Ooh. Okay.
for at least if you're trying to be super, unless if you're trying to be super ambitious, I mean. Um, some take the time to be a little bit more chill, but again, it really depends on you as a person. Um, and this is different from like college applications and your high school like senior year when you're also like trying to balance like having your schedule, your set schedule every day, like your APs, your extracurriculars,
Hmm.
still that. And I know that like many freshmen struggle because you're trying to like figure out how much you want to do. And you're also trying to balance like classes, and having a social life too is super important for people.
Right.
Um, so I think it's it's different because you create your own schedule now. And it's and you decide whether you want to chase after like Google, like you start early and start recruiting for that super early, or you just want to have a chill for a semester and not do a lot.
I see. So I guess to end it all off, we've talked a lot about, when to apply for internships, the ideal, way to schedule your time or, to think about scheduling your time in the first semester. So just for what people should take away from this, what is maybe one value or mindset that you feel is going to be extremely important for, both high school students as well as people entering into college that you think would take them the furthest in life right now?
I think the biggest thing that they should take away is just enjoy it in the moment, because it's easy to get caught up in trying to chase after the prestige of like getting into Harvard or getting into Google. But I think, especially for high schoolers, like you're not going to have once high school's over, it's over. It's the same thing for college. So I think just try to enjoy the small moments when you're like laughing with your friends. Enjoy the small wins in a maybe during your extracurricular or in school, or just the simple things. I think having just sort of like a perspective of gratitude is super useful, because it's really easy to get caught up and I should be chasing after this, doing this extracurricular, taking this hard class, like having a social life, trying to take care of myself and like sleep. Um, it You can't do everything, and a lot of people do sacrifice like sleep for having like a great social life. So it really depends on you as a person whether you choose to like prioritize, but I would say definitely if you want to pursue, well, of course, like go for it, but also ask your like ask like also slow down. You don't have to like chase after it just because everyone else is chasing after it.
I
I
see.
think just having like that perspective is, it'll take off a lot of the stress and keep you in check a little bit as you ask yourself, what do I want to do and where I want to go, which are pretty big open-ended questions. Um, and it's very easy, I think, as an incoming freshman in college be to panic and think that I have to do everything. I have to go to all these events. I have to join all these extracurriculars. But I also think the beauty of college is that a lot of people are figuring out adulthood with you together, and just making mistakes along the way might be the greatest beauty of them all.
I see. Thank you very much for sharing that. I hope everyone watching this has learned something about, how to bring yourself into college and how to conduct yourself and how to let time take the lead, essentially. So, thank you so much today for sharing with us, Iris. I definitely personally learned a lot about how to apply and how to go into college and how to do all my internship stuff, and I hope everyone else does the same. So, thank you so much once again for joining us today on this program, and I will see everyone else next time.